We're going to do some modeling equations with algebra tiles. I will warn you in advance that this method does not work well with every single equation. It really is only going to work with an equation where you're going to get an even number. It won't work if you're having 5x is equal to 4 and you're trying to divide 4 into 5 parts and get a fraction. It will not work. But if you have a situation where 3x is equal to 9 or 2x is equal to 8, 5x is equal to 10, whatever, it will work beautifully. So these equations have got to go in equally in order for this to work. So first thing, students get their tile mat and they see a big line running down the middle. What does this line represent, you ask? Well, I'm so glad you asked. This line represents, of course, our equal sign. So I'm just going to write that big equal sign there to help me remember that that's what this line represents. So let's go ahead and model and solve an equation that we know is going to work out well. One of the most missed questions is actually one-step equations. So this, and on a particular high school equivalency test, so making sure that students understand this is big. So let's see here. Let's say I had 2x is equal to 4. I'm just going to go ahead and model this first, and I'm going to use my bar to separate the two sides of the equation. So it says 2x, so I'm going to have my 2x's over here, are equal to 4. I'm going to go ahead and grab 4 of my little cubes here from our strategic North American algebra tile supply. Okay, so we know to solve an equation, our goal is to get the x term by itself, and we have to do the opposite to do that. So since these guys are written next to each other, saying 2x, the opposite of multiplication is division. So I've got to divide my 2x into two parts. No problem. I'm just going to have a 1 here, and I'm going to have 1 here. I've divided these there, and I'm going to get some spacing there. So I've divided these, and then you have to do the same thing to both sides. So I'm going to have to divide my chunk of whole numbers into two sets. So I'm going to bring one up here, and I'm going to bring one down here, dividing them in two sets right across from my x term. So what's my answer? Well, x is equal to 2. I've got 2 of those, but who cares? It's really just showing x is equal to 2. Let's look at another example that we can easily model here. I'm going to bring in a fresh tile mat, and let's see, what does that line represent? Oh yeah, the equal signs. I remember that, so I want to put that in here to remind myself. Okay, let's do another one that I know is going to come out evenly. Why don't we do a 3x is equal to 6? Let's do that. 3x is equal to 6. So I want to model it first. So let me grab my 3 green tiles. And remember, these are on one side of the equation. My 6 is on the other. So I'm going to grab some cubes from over here, like so. Dink-a-dink. There we go. Okay, to solve an equation, we always do the opposite, and we do the same thing to both sides. So let's see. This is written next to each other, meaning multiply. So the opposite is divide. So I'm going to divide, 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 and hopefully we can see that we've got 3 separate ones here. I know that one's running off the top, but we've divided that into 3 parts. So I've got to do the same thing over here. Opposite side of my equal sign, I've got to divide these into 3 parts. So we'll do, and we'll do. And my answer is any one of these. So x is equal to 2. And if I did this the more abstract way, divide each side by 3, well, let's just go ahead and do it, because I know there's doubters and skeptics there. So divide each side by 3, divide each side by 3, x will equal to 2. So once again with the tiles, this is an easy way to show and represent this, but again, you can't use it in all circumstances. You just can use it with ones that are easily divisible. And there'll be some practice problems and an answer key for you to do and check those. Try it out, but remember, these sometimes will give you a headache if you're new with using this. Give yourself some patience, try it a couple times, and it'll work out. And remember, it's not about us, it's about our students and their understanding and teaching from concrete to abstract. We'll see you later.